Folks, this is Gabe at Security Baron, and we've got a David and Goliath showdown for you in terms of Frontpoint and Lifeshield home security systems. Let's dive in. In today's battle, I'm going to go over Lifeshield and Frontpoint similarities, differences, installation processes, professional monitoring, customer support, and mobile application. If you'd like to see a list of our favorite home security systems, Google Security Baron, best home security systems. If you have a question about today's comparison, leave us a comment and I'll get back to you. Some of the key similarities between Frontpoint and Lifeshield are their do-it-yourself installation, cellular backup, great customer support, and solid mobile applications. Now, a couple of the main differences between Lifeshield and Frontpoint lie in professional monitoring. Lifeshield allows you to sign up for month-to-month contracting in terms of your professional monitoring or even self-monitor. And then if you decide to cancel, those are negotiable. However, Frontpoint requires you to sign up for 1 to 3 years of professional monitoring, and you have to pay at least 80% of the remainder for any cancellation. And on top of that, there is no self-monitoring option. Now that we've gone over the key similarities and differences, the first element that we're going to compare in our head-to-head of Frontpoint and Lifeshield is installation. Now, installation was pretty easy with both systems, but with Frontpoint, it's just peel and stick. There's no drilling, hardwiring, hammering, hollering, nothing. Guess what? I'm here for it. The only little bit that takes a little bit longer is the Ethernet required to initially set up your camera with the Frontpoint system. But overall, it took me about an hour and was quite simple. Now, Lifeshield, as I said, isn't that complicated, but definitely took me longer because there were Ethernet cables for days. I felt as if I had to go and install an Ethernet cable for almost every element of the system, so it just took me longer, and I actually had to get another switch for my Ethernet hub in order to make sure I had everything set up together. So when it comes to the top system for installation, they're pretty close in terms of ease, but just in terms of overall time spent, I have to give the nod to Frontpoint. Now that we've discussed installation, let's jump into the second element of our head-to-head comparison of Frontpoint and Lifeshield, professional monitoring. Now, each of these home security systems has a very different idea about what it means to monitor you professionally. Now, when it comes to Frontpoint, you have three options. You have the protection plan, interactive plan, and ultimate plan coming in at $34.99, $44.99, and $49.99. Now remember, the ultimate plan is the only one that actually gives you control over all of your smart locks and lights, night vision, and even something as basic as live streaming. So that's an issue we have with the Frontpoint plan. Now, Lifeshield, on the other hand, comes with two plans, the Security Essentials at $29.99 and the Security Advantage at $39.99. Now remember, each one of these plans comes with live streaming, night vision, all the things you would expect, along with cellular backup, battery backup, with no issues. The distinction between the two is a $39.99 plan comes with an extra motion sensor included and extra camera. Now, when it comes to the contracting of these two systems, you have more distinctions. Lifeshield will let you lock in a long-term contract for a lower rate, but they're perfectly happy to have you go month to month. Now that really is distinguished from Frontpoint, which requires a 1 or 3 year plan for your professional monitoring. So that's just something to remember for both. And finally, they each have super easy moving policies. So if you need to get up and go, they'll both make sure that you're able to reinstall, because you're doing it yourself, your system in your new home. But just in terms of the contracting and the price, we have to give the nod to Lifeshield here when it comes to professional monitoring. All right, hold on, quick break. I'd like to talk to you about commitment. How do you feel about signing up for 1 or even 3 year contracts with your home security systems? I just wondered what people thought. Please leave us a comment below. I'd like to hear from you. Thanks a lot, and let's get back to the video. Now, we've gone over the installation and professional monitoring options for both Lifeshield and Frontpoint, but what about getting the help you need when you need it through customer support? Now, going over customer support with these are kind of awkward because Lifeshield has a 4.9 rating out of 5 stars on Google, and Frontpoint has 4.6 out of 5 stars on Google. But Lifeshield is still in the single digits when it comes to reviews, whereas Frontpoint has over 300. So it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges in a sense, because you've got 7 oranges and 306 apples. Now, Frontpoint, we know, does well with their online knowledge center and their call centers. Lifeshield also has an online knowledge center, a call center, and even live chat. But in our live chat and phone calls, we did kind of feel as if we were getting a bit of the runaround, something that we did not experience with Frontpoint. And because of our own experience, we're gonna go ahead and give Frontpoint the nod when it comes to customer support. The final element in our head-to-head showdown between Lifeshield and Frontpoint is the mobile application. Now, Frontpoint does really well. They get a 4.1 in the Google Play Store and a 4.5 in the App Store on their mobile application that lets you control every element of the app, as long as you have Frontpoint's ultimate plan. And then you've got Lifeshield, which has a 3.7 in the Google Play Store and a 3.9 in the App Store, and allows you to control everything. And honestly, those are both higher than average scores, but the numbers don't lie. That 4.1 and 4.5 of the Frontpoint mobile application definitely beats the 3.7 and 3.9 in Lifeshield, so we have to give Frontpoint the nod when it comes to the mobile application. Let's do a recap of all the elements that we discussed in this Lifeshield versus Frontpoint head-to-head battle. Installation, we give the nod to Frontpoint because the peel and stick was super easy and it took us a little bit less time than setting up the Lifeshield. Professional monitoring, here we give it to Lifeshield as it had a lot more flexibility and we're just generally a lot more affordable with their professional monitoring plans and even allow you to self-monitor. Customer support, we're gonna give the nod here to Frontpoint. Of course, they have a numerical advantage with all the customers that have lauded their experience with Frontpoint, but even in our own personal experience of Lifeshield, it was a bit negative and we felt as if it could have been more streamlined. Mobile application, Frontpoint wins. The numbers simply don't lie. 4.3 average score between the App Store and the Google Play Store is simply astonishing. All right, we've been going over the elements of comparison between Lifeshield and Frontpoint for quite a while now, and you may be wondering, Gabe, just tell me which one is better. Now, if you've been paying attention, you'll note that Lifeshield only wins when it comes to professional monitoring. It's got, different models for contracts. You can do month to month, you can do 3 years, but overall, you get a lot more flexibility and even a more affordable professional monitoring system. Frontpoint, on the other hand, is slightly easier to install. It's got a better mobile application and better customer support. And I really only say that because it has a proven track record, because Lifeshield is in no means bad. Now, me, personally, I'm a bit of a commitment phobe these days, having some issues, and sometimes I don't want to sign up for 1 to 3 years of my life in advance like that. So I actually don't mind, some of the other elements where Lifeshield may fall a little bit short of Frontpoint, because I personally really value not having to sign a really long contract. But that's just me. If you're really looking for someone that knows what they're doing and have been in the game forever, you're gonna go with Frontpoint. So that concludes our comparison of the Lifeshield and Frontpoint home security systems. If you appreciated today's video, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. As always, this is Gabe Security Baron. Be secure.